What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune in and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to talk about this recent award that Stephen A. Smith won. Right, that's this thumbs down award that he won from. I'm not sure what organization. We probably going to find out because I'm going to play the audio from a couple videos. Right, but Stephen A. Smith won this award. And I think it's an award that is well deserved. It's an award that he earned, right? Because Stephen A. Smith is known for making disparaging comments about African American women. Just going at our African American women, right? And so he don't like the fact that he got called out, but this is a pattern with Stephen A. Smith. He is always doing these type of things, right? I remember when Stephen A. Smith was on a show with what's the guy name? Terrell Owens, right? And this was a few years ago, and Terrell Owens said, in front of Max Kellerman, he said, "Man, you know what? Max Kellerman is blacker than you are. He act like more like he black than you do, Stephen A. Smith." And Stephen A. Smith took offense to that, right? And so then fast forward to probably about like a little bit close to a year ago, Kevin Hart roasted and I think I'm gonna play it. Kevin Hart roasted Stephen A. Smith and said that Stephen A. Smith don't like black people, right? And so Stephen A. Smith took offense to that, and he said some things about it on his show. But my thing is, and now you have this organization who gives him a thumb down for his treatment and the way he go at black women. So you have three different people, well, way more than three people, but you had so many different people coming at Stephen A. Smith for the smoke he always had for women and minorities. Like, nowhere in the world that everybody can be lying on Stephen A. Smith, right? And so Stephen A. Smith would prefer to combat these accusations and go back at people when they say stuff like this, rather than try to listen to people and change his ways. So what does that mean? If you know he's basically saying that either he's put up to it and he's going to continue to do it, or he don't care, and he don't really care what people think about what he say. He's just going to continue to do these things, right? Because he don't care about what his community thinks of him. All he care about is what his bosses think of him, and that's that, right? So with that being said, let me play the audio from this young lady's podcast, and she's going to say some things about Stephen A. Smith, and then I'm a come back with my opinions.
So Stephen A. Smith is upset. He is threatening to go in on the National Association of Black Journalists for giving him their thumbs down award. Now, I got to be completely honest. When I read this information, I stood up in my living room and cheered, because nobody is more deserving of that award this year. Let's go.
Stephen A. Smith, sports analyst and political commentator. Smith has established a recurring public pattern of disparaging commentary directed at prominent black women across politics, sports, and media. Such commentary reinforces harmful narratives, undermines the fair and respectful representation of black women in public discourse, and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of black communities.
This NABJ award is given out every year to individuals and or organizations that they deem deserve criticism for their recurring patterns of disparaging black culture. And that includes black women. So why you tripping? Stephen A., don't be tight. They got this shit right. This is a man who got on national TV and demanded that the Department of Justice investigate the black players of the WNBA for playing defense on Caitlin Clark. So NABJ giving him a thumbs down is a thumbs up for calling out that clown. Trust me, I've been on his ass about this shit. He has talked enough about Caitlin Clark being in a hostile work environment that now Trump's DOJ is looking into violation of her civil rights, honey, because Caitlin Clark gets pushed like everyone else. Oh my God, I hate DEI. I hate big government. I hate politics and sports.
I'm saying they have a case. They have an
What case?
And do we doubt that at his discretion, at his disposal, if he finds this to be an issue that's politically expedient for him, that Trump won't use this to feed his base? The golden child in her second year in the league, who was top 4 in MVP voting last year.
The
assist leader last year. Galvanizing talent that has done wonders for the NBA. She is seen to be physically getting abused on a basketball court.
So I've been on this. He said they had a case. Black women get hit, it's a basketball play. Caitlin Clark gets touched, called a DOJ. Same hardwood, same contact, somehow a different display. And Stephen A. kept feeding that narrative day after day. And you'll never see him attack politicians like he did Jasmine Crockett. It's almost like somebody got him in their pocket. And it's not just Black women. He also does this with Black men. Y'all remember when Shannon Sharp went viral over Cat Williams' comments? See, Shannon broke the internet, and Stephen A. had to show up and give him a lecture. Instead of just saying, congrats, bro, he had to play media professor. You see, whenever another brother's moments get louder than his section, he always want to come with some unsolicited direction. Shannon Sharp on record with the biggest interview ever. Caught fire. What did Stephen A. do? He grabbed the fire hose. He said, don't dabble in gossip. This is guidance. Yeah, okay, I suppose. Shannon had, Cat had, Clicks had, all the buzz. What did Stephen A. do to him when he got in a little bit of trouble? Pulled the rug, then got on his podcast acting like it was Black love. And Stephen A.'s reaction to NABJ shouldn't be surprising to anyone because he can grade everybody, lecture everybody, question everybody. But as soon as the clip war turns around on him, oh, he wants to ruin the party. You built a career.
Right. And so that's why I say when everybody's calling out Stephen A. Smith, you got athletes, comedians, and now this organization is calling out Stephen A. Smith. It's not like everybody's, lying on Stephen A. Smith. Everybody's just pointing out the obvious, man. He always had smoke for his community, and sometimes it's not even justified, right? But never having smoke, for any other community. And then people call him out and Stephen A. Smith get, like he's offended. But let me play. I'm gonna see if I can find this the audio of Stephen A. Smith when Kevin Hart was joking and said that Stephen A. Smith don't like Black people, right? And so, but I think that in every joke, there's a little bit of truth, man, because Stephen A. Smith, he always has smoke. So let's hear what let me see if this is it.
I'm not going to front. It stung like hell.
Stephen A. Smith, those are my 4 people when it comes to hating Black people.
I have no issue with the joke. If it was a joke. If it wasn't a joke, I still wouldn't have an issue with it. I have an issue with the fact that it came from him. Somebody that I kind of know a little bit, that got a lot of love and respect for. And at a time in my life, knowing I've spent my life fighting on behalf of my community, that people try to continue this narrative about me that I know is false.
Now, why?
But that nevertheless still hurts to hear out of the mouth.
Why? You have so many, like I said, you had comedians say this, athletes who say it. Now you have an organization that says it. right? Why do Stephen A. Smith, if he's trying to make everybody think that so many different people from different walks of life is just going at Stephen A. Smith and trying to lie on Stephen A. Smith, right? And I think that Stephen A. Smith know that it's not, that's not the case. I think Stephen A. Smith has made up his mind, like he's picked his side basically, and he's on the side of the corporations. And so if he has to throw his own community under the bus, then he'll do that. He don't care. As long as, he's getting a paycheck, he's cool. He's going to say, whatever he has to say about his community, no matter how much harm, it does, no matter who it offends, he don't care. And so, and the thing about it, like, he's doing it for money, but he's losing respect, and he's showing that he don't have any integrity. So everything, is like, it's all for the money. He don't care about his legacy, his integrity, or anything. He's just doing everything for the money. And it'll just be a sad day when he realized and he come to find out that money is not everything that he think it is. So congratulations to Stephen A. Smith for an award. Well deserved, so that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.